My name is Rose D'Amato, and I'm a sign painter and pinstriper and painter. My art practice is really rooted in hand-painted signs and pinstriping. I'm a second-generation sign painter, so I've inherited this practice through my family. All of my beginning artistic skills came from learning how to make signs. Sign painting is a blue-collar practice at its core, and the way that I experience it through work, it's very up and down and like a love-hate relationship, and it can be really intense. But I also feel very connected to it because it's something a lot of people, including in my family, have experienced and gone through. When you inherit something like that that's a labor practice, you're seeing yourself and your family reflected in what you do. In painting right now, I'm choosing to document the street signs that have been really inspiring to me and use painting as a way of documenting my surroundings. When I see signs, I look past what the signs are saying, and I'm more looking for the small things that I can observe about the painter and the experience of painting, which I think is really different from what we actually paint. Because my art is so tied to labor practice, I'm always trying to find the parallels between the artist and painting and that personal experience and what the experience is of going out and working and painting. In the studio, there doesn't have to be one place or time, and I can paint as I interpret something, as I imagine it will change, as I experience it. There's more layers that can happen in your own painting, and that's exciting. I work with enamel, one-shot paint, gold leaf, a lot of different materials that really relate to the job. But in the studio right now, I'm painting with acrylics. I'm also doing airbrushing, but I'm using mostly water-based paints in order to let myself come to the way that I want to paint quicker without the limitation of the drying times and the materials that I usually suffer through for work. For Sika, I'm doing a couple larger scale paintings. In the past, I've been choosing one sign at a time for each painting, but for Sika, I'm going to do a painting which feels as if you're moving through a location and represent more signs in that painting. And I'm also gonna create an installation inside this 1955 Chevy panel truck. Since we're working on this inside here, and I'm also gonna be making my paintings in here, I'm really excited to see how the work grows together and how the experience of working on this vehicle informs my experience of making the paintings and vice versa. There's such a contrast right now that we're experiencing with the way tech has gone, and there's less of an emphasis on things being hand done. And I think art in general is just one of those things that it's always going to be around, and people are always going to appreciate it because you need to see human aspects represented in painting, signs and typography, all that stuff. Those things are so special, and they have such a weight to them when you see them and you experience them.